Hello. Right, we're just starting another wee day out today. We're on the outskirts of Edinburgh and I'm heading to where the old Cockenzie Power Station once used to be. It was a coal burning fire station, I believe, and it's been demolished now, but I just want to see where it once stood and I want to share that with you as well. So, but at this very moment, it's walked in a relay by just at the Battle Memorial Tables. See if we could get that on the video for you. And getting your purse, having a wee, just a wee stretch, something to eat, because we're driven from Dundee, not that far. I'm looking on the phone to find out exactly where I am in relation to where the power station is. A few miles down there. So we're going to get down there anyway, and I'll video what's there today, because it'll be interesting to see what's there myself. So I'm going to share that with you. Okay. Get directions. I'll start from the fourth road bridge, South Queen's Ferry. So I'll use this as a starting point. Then continue along the M90 until it joins the M9. Now this is just the route I've taken, and it's just a suggestion how to get to Cockenzie. Follow the M9. So you follow the M9 and follow it to the M8, heading in the direction of the A1. Continue along the M8 until you get onto the southbound city bypass, the Edinburgh City bypass, which is the A720. Right, so you follow that. Continue following along the A720, which is the Edinburgh City bypass. And then you come to the A1, you then join onto the A1, follow it in the southerly direction. Going along the A1 until you get to the A198. So you'll come off at the A198, which will then lead onto the B6371. And you just follow that down, and this will take you to the town of Cockenzie. Okay, so from there you'll be able to find out, you'll be able to see roughly where the power station was, because you'll see the switchboard, the transformer, national grid, where all the pylons are basically going. That's in kind of the general area where the power station was. So obviously, well, not obvious, but it's in Scotland. For those that don't know where Cockenzie is, if you're from elsewhere, you might not know where it is, but Cockenzie is in the East Lothian of Scotland. So, have you been a Cockenzie Power Station?
Can't say I have not. Be a first for me. See what's there anyway.
I've been to a few power stations. Like, I've been to the nuclear once, the EDF Energy once. Been to Longarret, that was there just a few weeks back. But that's been shut down. It's been shut down a while. In fact, it's been shut down in Bulldozer, not. I've shown the area where it once was. But this is, I say, I've not been to this Cockenzie Power Station. The last time I was there was, must be about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. Maybe more, 6 years ago. It's a while ago anyway.
Let's see what's there now.
Yeah, just want to see what's there now. So that way is anyway. So I'll get myself a wee bite to eat, some crisps and that. They're in there just munching away as well. So I'll show you when we get down there, okay? So I just drove down about a few yards just down for that lay-by that I stopped at. I didn't know this was here. But it looks like that this would be the big coal mine plant where all the coals would have been stored for the power station. Because there's a big sort of mine-like mound there in the background. And the actual town, Cockenzie, is just down there, and there's street names that's named after parts of the power station, like the chimneys, stuff like that. So I'll video that for you as well. I'll turn this on and I'll show you what I'm seeing here. So this would have all been related to the power station. Whether they mined the coal from here, I'm 100% sure just how it all worked. There might even be a wee railway in there that would have fed the power station its coal, the fuel. So this is also just off of the B6371, the B6371, and down there is just the actual town of Cockenzie. So I don't know what's over there actually. I guess that's maybe just a field or something. I'll go and have a wee look for it. Yeah, it's just one of the surrounding fields. So I'll go and get myself in the car, get myself down that way to the town of Cockenzie. I'll get that right, pronunciations, and I'll show you about there and some of the street names that relate to the power station over there. Okay, so I'll just get myself across this road and make my way down there. So, just along for the ride as well. Right, let's go to Cockenzie, or whatever the heck it's pronounced. Anybody dare pronounce it wrongly? I've pronounced it God knows how many different ways. So this is a fairly new housing area. Well, Cockenzie Power Station did have a big chimney for the coal burning. So I'll get myself over along a wee bit. So this is just some of the other areas. Now, for me, it just feels a bit different from the last time I was here. I know that it's been heavily built over, but I just couldn't imagine it being like this. It just feels, I don't know, different. There is an old building actually over there. I'll see if I can zoom in for you. I'm just walking up this wee bit here. I'm not going to be long. I'm kind of parked down there, so I don't know if I can stay there too long, but I'll zoom in and show you this. Now, in saying it's an old building, I don't actually know if it's still in what's going on there, because the national grid is still connected to it. That might just be the transformer house, the switchboard and that. You know, there won't be like a power station actually generating power to it, but the actual transmission lines, these pylons, will still be connected to the switches in there. That'll be the switchboard and transformer board, which the power station would have used. when it was generating power. So in which case that is still in use. But this land here would possibly be where the exact footprint of where the factory, the power station was. Although it just feels a bit different, wrong. It doesn't feel right, because the last time I was here was a few years ago, and it didn't seem like that all this was. I know that these houses were recently put up, but it just felt more, some sort of car off-road coming up ahead a bit. No, it's an off-road vehicle. Right, hang on a second. I see an off-road vehicle. I don't know what's happening. I don't think there's anything saying that I'm not meant to be here, but just another wander about anyway. See what's what. I mean, it doesn't. When I drove here last, it seemed more industrialised. There wasn't any houses or anything. It just felt as though it was maybe even near the coast. I just get the feeling. I don't think that's where the power station exactly was, but I don't know. Yeah, I was just asking a local, and the power station was in that area. That was the footprint for the power station, the Cockenzie Power Station, however you pronounce it. You've got to be careful how you pronounce that one. But my English isn't that great, so I just pronounce it whatever way I do. It doesn't sound too bad. But it's one thing for sure, and right in the middle of the mud here, so I'm going to put myself in there. Right, I'll show you what I'm looking at. So yes, one of the locals I was speaking to there did indeed confirm that the power station was here. But it's just that when I'd driven here, it didn't seem that long ago. And it just doesn't really, it's not how I remembered it. Obviously it's gone and this house is built here and naturally it's going to look different, but it's still something that just feels different about the area. Now, there's a building over here. I could structure over this way and make my way over to it. The others are just waiting in the car for me. We're going up later tonight. I'm meeting up with a friend that lives in Edinburgh. I thought I'd piggyback this video onto the day out and try and get as much done today and the day off as possible. A little bit of flying is a bit of exercise. Yeah, there's something else interesting here. It's like a bit of an entrance underneath this mound. I'll show you. So obviously that's going to be leading somewhere under there, whether it's to service a mine or whatever, or service whatever's under there, pipes or machinery, I don't know. I wished that I got a tour of this power station when it was here and operational. Unfortunately I didn't. Like I say, the last time I was here was a few years ago, and I remember the big chimney, because many times I'd walked many times I'd driven the A1 and I always passed it. It stood up like a sore thumb. So, as I say, I've passed the power station loads of times on the A1, and there was one particular time I decided, right, I'm going to actually drive right to it, because I'm interested, I like all that stuff. And I did, I came here, but I think it was closed down. There wasn't much going on, but like I said, it just felt different. Now I've got myself into a situation where all I go. What I'm trying to do is get down there to show you the signage. But to do that, I've got to get down there. So, and that's that B road that I was on about earlier. So I'm going to bravely go down here in the normal shoes. I don't have hiking boots on or anything, just you get myself all covered in mud, scraped, tear my jacket probably, get all jagged. There's always jagged nettles on the adventures. Every time I go somewhere there's always jaggers. I don't know what no, I look like I like I just came out there. Anyway, here we are. Right. Wondering what motorists will be wondering what the heck I'm doing here, but never mind. I'll just look like a tourist that's got lost. I'm trying to get across this road. It was quiet earlier, but of course when you want to get across the road it becomes really busy. Sod's law. Anyway. I was parked up that lay-by just earlier on. So it seems to stretch all that area right the way along. That's where the power station would have been, it would seem. It just doesn't seem how I remember it for some reason. It seemed to me that when I came here last, it felt like it was more industrialised, it was more, it just didn't feel like the way it does. There seems to be too many houses in that, houses that have been here a while, but so I don't remember seeing that last time. I'll show you anyway some of the signage that I'm going to show you. Right, so I've kind of like walked round in a wee bit of a circle to try and capture some of that for you. Now there's part of me saying I want to go along there to where that switchboard is, because you can see that, but it doesn't look like there's anything stopping me doing that. So whatever it is, it's still operational, so I'm not going to go into the actual complex, but I'll just get near it, perhaps. Depending on the ground, because this looks that muddy. And it looks as though this is used for 4x4s, because a lot of 4x4 tracks are around here. I'll turn it around and show you just what. Yeah, I was saying there was a lot of 4x4 tracks. Now this could be used for maybe 4x4 practice. Unofficial maybe, or official, I don't know, but I don't really know this area very well at all. So, but there's evidently a lot of 4x4 tracks. So. I just had a quick look on Google. The power station opened in 1967 and shut down in March 2013. So that's about all I can tell you right now. I will perhaps do a bit more Google on it later on and put that bit on the wee bit of information on the video. It's all a bit of time really, you know. What am I walking in here? So I'm just making my way over. Just walking right across there. I'll show you what's happening. So I don't really want to do any damage to this. This obviously won't be 4x4 stuff. It was just that little bit of a mound area back there on the 4x4 tracks. But I think what I want to do is keep off as much as that I can, just to the edges, so that I know disrupting whatever is going on there. All with respect. And I'll try and make my way over. Like I say, I'll do a bit of research on it, and if I've got time I'll stick that in the video as well. But mainly it's just to show what's here today, because I was interested to know what I was doing, you know. So I'll share that with you. Yeah, so it seems like that these houses, new houses that are built, have got they've been named after parts of the power station, like the chimney. Been named after these areas. You get a nice view of the 5th and the 4th. And you can see Edinburgh, you can see Arthur's Seat up ahead as well. I'll show you this. You can just see the river Forth there, and you can see Arthur's Seat. And that buildings there will be possibly Musselburgh or something. Part of Edinburgh anyway, so you could certainly hear the buzzing from the switchgear over there, so it's definitely that bit's still operational. This is a tatty field by the looks of it, and I don't really have much choice now but to go over this way. So it's just a little bit more, but I'm being careful with walking on and doing minimal of damage to the ground, and just walking on areas that are clearly not going to be affected by my size 12 shoes walking over them. Like this is over now. So I'll get this zoomed in for you. Looks like there's a bit of a walk here as well. So I'm part of the way over there, so I've got to remember, I don't want to go all the way back the way I came. I could probably go this way as a shortcut. But let's focus on what I'm trying to show you. So these houses have been there for quite a while, and this actually feels a wee bit more like how I remember it, because the power station, it just felt as though it wasn't surrounded with any houses as such. It was more surrounded with like industrial estate kind of buildings. It felt more of industrialised. It just didn't seem so close to a built up area when I was last year. Yet it seems as though that the power station was over that way, which is in fact nearer the buildings. So get a wee bit closer to this. So this is as close as I'm going to get to this, obviously. Now I think I remember these, but as I say, that feels about right. But the way I remembered it before is that the power station kind of stretched over this way. It felt like the water was on that side, which it is, and the power station was over there, kind of alongside it. It's just the bearings of the area. It feels different for some reason. It was a few years ago, but I do remember it differently. So, there it is. Now they went on the car for me. As usual, I always tend to go wandering off and kind of left them. And they're all for the day for other things as well, but I better get my way back. I'm not going to go back all the way, I'm going to go another way, so I'm going to get videos down there for you as well. And I'll have a look at this area, see if this sort of brings back any more memories of how I remembered it. Now there is a thing online that I've mentioned before in other videos. It's not really appropriate to mention it too much on this video, but it's regarding the Mandela effect. Like I say every time, if you're interested in the Mandela effect, I suggest do your own research and come to your own conclusions on it first of all. But it's possible that there may be a Mandela effect here because, like I say, it just feels different to me. It doesn't feel like it's the way I remembered it. Usually the first impressions last, and I didn't get the impression there was as many houses nearby it when I came here the last time I was here a few years ago, when the power station was, the buildings were at least still up. It was maybe in the decommissioning process, but they were still up and it felt more industrialised. It didn't feel like they were near so many buildings, houses I mean. They weren't near any houses as such. Right. So as I say, that's obviously the switchgear building, which is still operational, and we're now on the main road that runs parallel with it. So I'm going to get myself up here. So yeah, I'm just traipsing across here. I don't know the area well, I'm just winging it, as the saying goes. I don't have a set route or a plan, and just fill them in, making it up as I go along, and just seeing what I stumble across, and then if I find it interesting I'll just get the camera out and record it. I don't know the area overly well at all. But that doesn't mean to say that my memory was wrong. I still remember it feeling. It looks like across this busy road. It's always busy whenever I get across that. It's always quiet any other time, but no doubt it's busy as well. Across here we get, I don't know. Wind Park Industrial Estates. It's certainly that area, but I don't remember it being so close to these houses. But they've been there for ages, by the looks of it. Funny, I'll show you. So I'll get myself over to that big sign there as well, and this actually looks quite interesting. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, there was more than just one big building. As I say, it felt like the power station, the whole area had a power station. It was like, no, you know, there's buildings, industrialised areas on both sides of the road. Now this looks to have been something as well. Bus. If you know my videos, you'll know that in a bus spotter also, so I just thought I'd get this Prentice Westwood, possibly Enviro 200 bus. Just thought I'd piggyback that onto this video. Where was I now? Yeah, I was kind of filming all sorts of things. I have to get this camera through there without dropping the thing. I could show you a bit more. So I've got a wee bit over there as well. Now they're waiting in the car. What I'll do now is I'll get this back to the car, get myself parked a wee bit further, because they're just staring at a brick wall basically. Kind of parked in an area that's well, we wouldn't park there too long, so I'll show you this. A wee bit of artwork, and it seems to depict some of the power station as well, or certainly coal works, I'm assuming. The ancient sort of thought I'd get that in there as well, some artwork. I'll try and give you directions on where it is exactly, if you don't know where Cockenzie is. I'll try and get that shown on the map. It's another sign. I better remember to flip this video, otherwise you won't be able to read that. I'm just waiting. I'm going to get myself up to the car and I've got a little report as well, which is pretty good. I'll just show them. I could park there and show them this. It's better than where they're parked right now anyway. And where I've parked them. It's me driving, I've just parked the car somewhere that I've just got parked at the time. I could get down here and so that at least there's more of a view for them to see. Unfortunately I'm missing all this, so I better get back so they could at least get to see this in the daylight. I could find my way back now. Right, so I'm going to make myself march back to my car and I'll be back here in a few minutes. Right, so I've moved the car somewhere a bit better so they could get it in stretch and whatever, to see a bit more of a view than where I parked earlier. I'm just rustling through the video, so I'm busy doing this, like they're doing whatever they're doing. I'm trying to get as much done as I can for you at the moment, given the daylight and the other stuff I've got to get done. So, there's a nice port here, so let's just round and show you. And you can see Edinburgh in the distance there. It's as clear as it's going to come out with this camera. Like I said before about the Mandela effect, I've done a video on my own channel, so if you look back on my channel you'll see the videos that I've done about the Mandela effect phenomena. It's just that you can have your own opinion on it, but I do believe in something that resembles something like what they call online as the Mandela effect. And certainly the way I remember the power station, okay, I was here only just once, maybe twice on an occasion. I didn't get a good look at it, but the first impressions usually last. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so it felt like, for me anyway, the power station was sort of like across, there was parts of the power station on either side of the road, and the road ran through it, the centre of it, but it was heavily industrialised. There was much more industrialised feeling about it. But there wasn't houses like this nearby, to my knowledge. It sounds crazy, obviously, because evidently seems like there always has been. But that's not how I remember it. I mean, I remember it first impressions, early impressions last, and it's not a mistake remembering it. It felt like, from what I remember, there was bits connecting across, there was bridges, there was, you know, it felt like I drove through it. It felt further out as well. It didn't feel so close to the built up areas. But apparently the power station was only just over there. It's stretched over. You know, it doesn't feel like. But that's just that's how I remember it, and a believer in the Mandela effect. Okay, I've piggybacked that subject onto this video as well, so make what you want of it. But anyway, I'm getting a great view across the Fife. I'll start sharing the views with you as well. Just looking over towards Brunt Island, and then you've got Kirkcaldy, Dysart, Kirkcaldy over there on the coast, the Fife coast. And they've got the Isle of May out there somewhere as well, which is further down. That's opposite where Anstruther. In fact, you could see it, or I could see it. I don't know if his camera will pick it up, but what I'm looking at, I believe, is the Isle of May. Now, it's not the clearest of weathers, it's not the clearest of days. I mean, this is like January, the middle of January, and it's, what time is it? I didn't get the time. It's like after 4, so it's going to be getting dark. It's not the best visibility, but I'm sure on a clear day, clear summer's day, these would be a better for visibility. I can see Craigaville from here. That's where, well, it's just on the north boundary of Dundee. I could see it with my eyes, naked eye. Don't know if I could pick it up with this camera, but I'm sure, I think I would lay bet that was Craigaville. But you get a nice view anyway. Right, just bear with me one moment. So that's just a wee bit of information here. Heritage Lakes. Tells you a bit about the power station and the history of Cockenzie. I'll take a still photograph of this as well, so you could obviously pause the video when. Oh, there it is. So like I say, I'll get a video of this, I'll get a photograph of this so you could actually read it properly and just sort of, not really doing it very well with the video camera, but formally opened on the 28th of May 1968. I thought I read something on Google saying 1963, but never mind. It was in the 60s anyway, a long time ago. 7 years before I was born, so that's quite a while ago. That's really all that matters there, and it's now gone. I don't know what they do now for energy. They'll put more power on the nuclear power or something, or green energy, I think, offshore wind farms and stuff. Tidal wave energy things as well. Right, so let's have a wee wander down here. It's quite very nice sort of pier area to walk down. Watch where I'm walking, otherwise I wind up down there. I'll show you where I am. There's a wee bit of a balancing act here. You can see a bit of an island or something, just kind of hill sticking up there in the distance. I'm not sure what that is actually. I was looking, well, to try and get the bearings correct here. That's Fife, and that's looking up the north of the Fife coast. That's probably beyond Fife coast. That's, well, maybe even as far as Arbroath even. I thought I saw a lighthouse there in the distance, but maybe you just see that. I don't know if that came out very well in the camera, but yeah, that's just looking out to, starting to look along the Fife coast, and that's going in the southerly direction. And you can see the bridges. Well, I don't know if this camera will pick it up, but I can see the Forth bridge. It's maybe not going to come out in here, but I could just see the flashing warning lights on them, on the towers of the bridge towers, the Forth Road bridge towers, and the rail bridge. You can see the outline of the rail bridge from here, from where I'm standing. This is a lovely little spot, this, for breathtaking views. But I still can't really figure out what that hill is. The islands, it's not, see, it's getting dark now, it's not really as clear a day, but well, that'll be Burnt Island, and as I say, sorry, forgive me if I'm pronouncing them wrong, I'm not great at that, unfortunately. The Isle of May is, I think, if we could get this on here. It's not very clear, unfortunately. I'll give up. It's not going to come out. Anyway, so it's time to move on, because I think they'll be doing whatever, and then we'll get back in the car. And we'll get I'll get driving back in towards Edinburgh, where I'm meeting a friend. Stays in Edinburgh, so we've got something to eat as well. But yeah, it was quite an interesting little visit to Cockenzie. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, just, you know what I mean. But yeah, it just feels different. I mean, if I could find the footage, I'm sure I took footage. This is well before I'd done YouTube videos. I mean, I only done YouTube videos, not even, just coming up for 2 years. So it was well before that. So the quality was the way it was. If I could find these pictures, I'd put them on here. If I've got the time, I could find them. That's if I'm sure I would have took pictures. But it does feel different anyway. At the time I was here last, it was in the decommissioning stage, because the buildings were still up, but I think it wouldn't be generating, it would be getting dismantled inside. And like I say, the buildings just didn't, it seems far too close to the power station, if that's where it was. Obviously, evidently, no, that's where it was, but it just feels like it was in the middle of kind of like an industrial area, which was in no Bottle Bay. There was no housing nearby as such. But as I say, the Mandela effect phenomena I won't rule that out because I've experienced many of them. Might have something to do with it. I don't know what it is, but I do know I've experienced something. So, right. I think I've pretty much covered as much as I'm going to cover here in this area. Just enjoying this nice fresh time here. I'll go and see what the others are doing. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Just keep in touch, see what else I put up. Okay, bye for now. Cheers.